Hello, good evening, guys. Welcome to my YouTube channel. This is Samuel Suse online, live on my YouTube channel. Please hit the subscribe button and add up on my subscribers. Please, I would like to discuss a lot of issues with you, or I'd like to share my opinions pertaining on how our government should be operating. Sometimes it's necessary that we discuss those issues because they're affecting every one of us in most countries, especially in Africa. So I know, guys, this is not as easy as anybody could think, but it's very critical that we have to consider it. I may not have good ideas. Those who have best ideas, please, you can always assist, you can always share, you can always hit the subscribe button there, comment below, leave up your comment, then I'll take it up from there. Then I'll follow your comments, guys. Support my channel. I would like to at least improve on my conversation. Actually, this is the first time I'm doing a live a conversation very late. I haven't been active on YouTube for so long, so I just attempted for the first time, and then I didn't do much. I just did maybe just a few weeks, just two days, just few days actually. Then I dropped off. I wanted to start this channel 1 year ago, but I didn't have the that required knowledge on how I can be running this channel. But anyway, still the same. I haven't even done it research. I didn't have even interest to be going live on YouTube, or to be sending streams of videos online. But anyway, I'm right here to talk about our economies. We can still share this video with others. Please hit the subscribe button and support this channel. I will highly appreciate your subscription, guys. It's just free of charge. There's nothing, no pay there. So feel free. I'm actually going to be doing this stuff from the village. This is where I stay, guys. I stay in the village, in the rural place. So understand that one. But I'll be right here sending videos, and I'll be actually doing most of my opinions. Those are the opinions that I'll be sending about how I feel our government should be behaving or should be performing. Um, what it is we've got so many issues going on. Our governments have most of our African governments are in debt, highly indebted. They owe a lot of cash from different countries or lenders. So to say, actually, it's important that our governments begin to realize the importance of rebuilding their economies. So, hence, how do you rebuild our economies? This is another century where the industrial revolution has already reached its peak. So, others, this modern world has changed. It has made a lot of changes in their lives, but in Africa, the impact of this development is still far behind, but we're almost catching up as well. But the challenge is most of the African people, they are still poor, they're suffering. Only few are doing fine, guys. So we can assist our brothers and sisters. I'm not saying I'm doing fine, I'm also in the same track, but most of our African people, they have not been exposed to the best education, but they might have been some might have been exposed to that education, still lack opportunities. So this is one of the challenges that they are facing. And our governments, this is the message, particularly directed to the government, actually, to the governments. So governments should take responsibility. It is their duty, and all citizens as well. It's not only upon their shoulders, upon the shoulders of politicians, but even us citizens who are responsible for helping in driving this economy. All those people that invade taxes, tax invasion, those issues, that There are also critical components that bring about the downfall for our economies. Um, Over borrowing by our government or our politicians is also another problem. Over over overcharging of projects or estimation of projects by politicians for their political gain. Those are also issues because most of them they are corrupt. They would like maybe they would charge a project over more than 50% of it will goes to politicians, or maybe 50% or 40% goes to politicians, maybe, or sometimes it's 20% goes to politicians. The rest of the money will go to the project. But most of them they would charge me 35, 40% goes to them, then only 50% works for the project. So this is what happens. So this time things are going to change. Are supposed to change, and these things can only change through our through leadership, and they can change through us people on the grassroots. We decide the power in those offices. We decide when we can appoint our leader, when we can drop that leader. If the leader does not qualify, it is up to us to decide to put our message, our story, to change the face of our country. So, whoever goes there and thinking that they are the final, they feel like they are the god of the nation, people will voice out through ballot. I know that. So, this is what happens. Actually, I would like to advise most of our governments. Privatization is an important issue, but as a government, we also need to have government must have its own assets, especially in Africa. Government should begin to realize the importance of industrialization and coming to the table and beginning to what to create those companies that are going to what to process goods. It's not only people; they can also create policies that are favorable for investors to do that. Local investors, international investors, those are the things that are also going to help revive our economies and help us to reduce on our borrowing. And we must also have control on our borrowing as countries. This is necessary and critical to the development of our nation and the economic stability. So that is what is required. So government should have at least even 10 years plan on their what on their program, such that they have to at least create 5, 10 companies, 15 companies in the next 10 years. They should have such targets. At least they build different companies in the next 10 years. They must at least plan ahead of time. From the money that they'll be borrowing, they should be able to create companies that are going to be producing a lot of things. Then at the end of the day, we are going to have a lot of products made from our countries. We're going to have industries growing, number of industries mushrooming, even other introducing other policies that are going to favor also the private sector, so that they may also benefit. Reducing tax customs duties on imported goods, or especially machineries that are going to be used by those who are going to be processing things or products. Some of these things people fail to do them because maybe the cost of importation and maybe doing other stuff or doing business in the country is too high, or maybe taxation as well. Policies on taxation, they're not fair, not that friendly. So those are some of the issues that hinder investors. So let's ensure that we make some changes on those. But it's necessary that the government builds its own what companies, processing industries, or processing companies. So those are most of the critical components that we need to look at. So if our government are able to create, for example, 10 in the next 10 years, at least in a year, they're able to build one company that is going to be processing goods. Maybe, for example, if it's copper, dealing with copper, or if it's dealing with diamonds, processing diamonds and making them into complete, and manufacturing companies actually, manufacturing companies as well, so that all those mineral resources that we are producing as countries should be processed within the country and should be refined, should be completely um, processed within the country, and value must be added to our products. On top of that, we must have also manufacturing companies that are going to help process those raw materials. Those are going to make commodities from those raw materials that have been manufactured from within the country to create more employment for the citizens. And when we are able to do that, we are going to expand our potential to maximize the revenue in the country. This is what happens. This is necessary to us that we have to do it as a government. So governments should structure their programs nicely. And like just focusing on infrastructure, it's not only about infrastructure. The development of a nation without industries, a nation without manufacturing companies is nothing, has no future, has no success. So, and most of our people, they are agriculturalists or they are farmers. So let's make sure that we put up, invest much of the money in agriculture, yeah, support the farmers, reduce taxes on what on the agricultural farming implements and equipments, so that these farmers are able to benefit nicely. Production of fertilizers, companies like which are supposed to be producing fertilizers, the country or the government is able to create such companies. They are able to finance such companies. They can finance a company that they can finance um the they can finance projects that are going to come up with manufacturing companies, processing companies that are going to assist us to do better in agriculture. Um, like for example, nitrogen making chemicals, those companies that make fertilizers, government is able to create one or expand uh, the 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 capacity of those such companies. Should be able to expand such companies its production capacity, so that it can meet the demand, local demand, by uh, to most of our farmers, so that they also benefit. Production, if there is enough production of food substance, it means the country is going to have food security. You're not going to have to certain pointing much of the food stuffs. So this is what happens. Farmers are highly affected. So we need also to create or to build companies, manufacturing companies that are going to be manufacturing chemicals actually for agriculture from within the country. Insecticide, pesticides, all those stuff, they are necessary. We don't even need to be importing such things. We need to be making them from within. If you don't have the manpower that can be able to to make those herbicide and insecticide, whatever stuff, chemical, it's important that we can hire expertise that are going to assist us and train some of our people to do such things, so that we can be able to run our own manufacturing companies and processing companies. It's very important. Knowledge is expensive. We have to spend for it in order to succeed. This is what must be done, and the governments, they are able to do it. If you are able to train your own people, even at least 1,000 or 10,000 of them, or 10,000 of them in those areas to be just doing that particular work, I'm sure in the near future a number of such um, expertise will increase, because those people are also going to transfer the knowledge to others, and you can even create institutions that are going to be there to train people in those areas, which is very necessary, and support them effectively, so that we may continue to support our manufacturing and processing industries. So it's very important. Knowledge is very sweet. Once you have it, you are able to make it, and once you are able to make it, your country is going to be to make it, because you are also part of the taxpayers. The more money you make, the more taxes you pay to the government. So this is what happens. So let's ensure that we embrace best policies, good plans, so that we can rebuild our nations for the better tomorrow, for the better of our upcoming future generations or incoming future generations. So it's important, it's up to us as government to consider that one. It's important. When we have such companies, it's necessary. We are going to drive our economies. You see, we are going to stop begging for money from international whatever. We are going to reduce. If we are able to make our own copper cables, we are able to make it diamonds, whatever, those are other stuff like, I don't know if you'll be using it for what. If it's gold, whatever, gold chain necklaces, whatever, all those stuff, and whatever is necessary, that is, it can be made from gold or whatever. It has to be processed and made from within the country itself. So, and you only take export only finished products. Then our countries, they are going to make a lot of money. We are going to amass wealth. We are not going to continue suffering or to allow our citizens to continue suffering, because we'll be able to be in the position to compete with other Western countries. We are going to perform better. So, in terms of agriculture, if food security is handled carefully, we are going to succeed, because I'm sure Africa imports a lot of much of the food substance or food stuff from abroad, maybe worth about near, is it, maybe, I don't know whether it's 5 billion or 50 billion US dollar. That's a huge market, such that we are losing out a lot. So it's important, if we are able to support our own people, our local farmers, they are also going able to benefit from such businesses. They are able to sell their products and improve their livelihoods. So it's important that we support them and remain consistent with our policies. Let's not be unpredictable in the way. And political instability is not supposed to be existing in our countries. So when we create such environments, it means we're destroying our economies, we're destroying the future of our generations to come. It's our duty as citizens to protect the such. As leaders, let's not think about ourselves. Life is very short. No one is here to stay forever. You're only here temporarily. One day you will leave this world. So it's important that you leave it better than the way you found it. And it doesn't mean that you have to enrich your own family. No. It is important that we consider others as well. As you govern the country, ensure that everyone, most of the majority of the people benefit from the government coffers or treasure, as from the various investment that you're going to make. You can create jobs through creating industry, manufacturing companies, processing companies. You can still also empower other people to come up with such companies. You can also still introduce best ideas, people to you can introduce people to cooperatives where they can you can be offloading shares. People can buy shares in those cooperatives, and then they come up with a firm which is well organized. You can support them with a trained or expertise that are going to assist them, help to run such companies if at all they happen to form one. This is what is important to build the economy capacity of our citizens and our fellow brothers and sisters. It's very important. We are still poor and we're going to make it one day. It's the matter of time, but I'm not that poor. We are not that poor because we are rich in terms of resources. So it's just identifying the opportunities that can help us to realize and maximize the potential of these resources that we have, so that we can benefit and succeed. So we must also ensure that our governments and our politicians, there should be laws that are going to um, actually assist to hold them accountable during their term in office, not whereby we have to wait for the president to retire for them to be convicted of a crime, a certain crime that they have committed. It's not necessary. Excess of immunity protection, those doesn't such issues does not favor the people. It only destroys the economy, because those people squander a lot of money. They destroy resources, public resources. They destroy taxpayers' money. They make money for themselves, most of them. So it is important that these things are controlled. So unless when you have those presidents that are faithful, that are straightforward, that need to drive the economy of their nation, who have the heart for the people, not the heart for their family, only their family. So a nation is not but only your family. A nation, the entire nation is your family. It's not only your household is your family. The entire nation is your family, because the people who are going to be living in that country, they are going to be affected one way or the other. Even if your family is going to be rich, they're also going to be affected one day, one way or the other. So it is important that we have to consider the well-being of every citizen in that particular country. So, guys, this is my view. Our governments must begin to restructure the way they spend their money. They must begin to build companies, manufacturing companies, processing companies, and other industries that are going to assist them to generate huge or colossal sums of money through production and processing of these resources that we might have, or that we have or we own as states. And then we will be able to export such things to other markets like Europe. I don't know, is it other Western countries, Eastern countries, these Asian countries? No, it's important, and we're going to accumulate a lot of money for our own benefit and for the to help our economies boom. So it's important that we do that as governments and to build the future of the nation. Thank you for watching my channel. Welcome to the end. Bye. Please don't forget to hit the subscribe button and enjoy the video.